In this session, we are going to look at a very important concept called conditions. In daily life, we get a lot of conditions. If you look at the screen, these are examples we face in our daily life. If it rains, I will open my umbrella. So it is a condition. The condition is if it rains. The fact that if rain happens equal to true, I will open my umbrella. I just rephrased it a little bit more in the programming way, but otherwise it's the same thing. Also, we can have different fallback plans. If I have $100 in my account, I will buy this expensive dress. Otherwise, else if I have only $50 in my account, I will buy this cheaper dress. So it's like a else if scenario as well we have in our life. Just like that, programs also have similar conditions. In fact, most of the programs is all about different conditions, all about condition checking and executing certain specific code. Before too much theory, let's get into the code and let's have a look. So this is our condition program. What we can do is we can comment out all the complicated stuff, which is something we will see later. So I'm going to press Control plus / in Visual Studio Code. That will comment out like so. To uncomment, I can press the same keyboard combination like so. Control plus /. So I commented out all the programs which we don't need for the time being. Now what we are going to do is we're going to focus on line number 3, 4, and 5. Let me remove the additional line on the top. So this is what we are going to focus on right now. There is a variable here, rain today. That rain today variable is assigned to 0 at the moment. That is the value inside that variable. Now there is a keyword here, if. If is the main keyword for checking conditions. And then we have open bracket, the open parenthesis, and then the variable, name of the variable, and equal to operator. We have seen this operator before. This is a comparison operator. What is it comparing? This and this. And what is the result? So the input to that operator is this and this. What is the output? Output is true or false. Remember that. This is a comparison operator. Input is two inputs which you want to compare, and output is true or false. At the end of the day, there should be true or false inside this parentheses or bracket. And then we have a colon here. Very important. Don't miss this. The small guy right here. Very important. And then there is a couple of spaces here. Very important. From Python perspective, this is very important. There is colon here, then there is space here. And then you have print take umbrella. So if a rain today equal to 1, if rain today has a value equal to 1, then this will become true and this condition will get executed. That's what it means. Now let's have a look at the debugging. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put breakpoint right here as usual. Now what we're going to do, usual F5, and we got the breakpoint hit. And we're going to look at, let me delete these watch variables. So watch will retain its states after opening and closing Visual Studio Code. So I deleted that. Then there is no locals as of now because it is yet to execute line number 2. So I'm going to do that, step over. So we have rain today assigned to 0. And what we are checking here, we are checking this. So this is going to be false because rain today has a value of 0. 0 is not equal to 1. So this is going to be false. So let's see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. So I have already selected it. So let me select it like so and right click, copy, and I'm going to add a watch. I'm going to paste it here, Control V. I pasted that statement here. The watch window will evaluate the statement which I am putting it there. So it is evaluating to false. So if you look at this is a statement I'm putting in the watch window and it is evaluating to false. So which means that when I execute this particular line, there'll be a false coming inside this bracket. And if false is coming inside the bracket, the condition checked by if is getting false, and this line is now going to get executed. So let's see that. So it didn't execute. As you can see, there is no print here and the program is ended, right? If I want, I can give a print here just for checking if you want. But this statement, the breakpoint, the cursor didn't come here. So this is not executed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 here and going to press Ctrl S to save. Again, going to run, start debugging. Again, creating the variable here. And as you can see, this is true right now. This is evaluated to Boolean true. And now the cursor, the debug cursor, this yellow arrow has come here and it is going to print that. So as you can see, it has printed take umbrella. So that's how the if condition or if loop, whatever you call it, works. So the space here, the colon here, the bracket, those are the things which you need to pay attention to. Those are the things you will forget when you write this program yourself, most of the time at least. Now let's take some different ideas here, making some trivial modification to the program. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it false here. So let's see what happens. So when I put false there, Visual Studio Code itself understood that this is not going to come because this is always going to be false. That's why it got a little dim color, right? So probably some of the cases I get a warning as well. But again, nothing happens. So I put a false there. So I artificially evaluated the condition and put a false there, nothing executed. Similarly, I can put true, then this will get executed all the time. As you can see here, code executed. So at the end of the day, we need something here. Inside this bracket, we need something which evaluates either into true or false. Now, let's take the condition of rain today is greater than 1. Remember, this was another conditional operator. So the condition now has changed. Now I'm checking rain today is greater than 1. Then only it'll execute this particular line. Is that true? No, it is not true. Rain today is equal to 1. It is not greater than 1. Again, this is going to be false and this line is now going to get executed. So the statement here will evaluate to false. Let's see that. So again, starting the program. As you can see here, it is 1. Now here it is equal to 1. So that is true. That is fine because it has 1. But that's not the condition we are checking here. So let's do that. Now we are going to put greater than here. So that is false. As you can see, that is false. Even if I put less than, that is also false. It's not less than. On the other hand, if I put less than or equal to, that's going to be true because it is less than or equal to. In fact, if I put greater than or equal to, that is also going to be true. But in the case of our program, we are using greater than and it is false. You can try all these combinations and permutations. Feel free. Going ahead with the execution, as you can see, there is no print. Now I'm going to put an equal to here and again running and stepping in. As you can see, came here and gone here. So we have seen if condition or if loop. Sometimes people call it if loop. I don't know how true it is, but I have seen it I myself use it. So if condition, we have seen that. Conditional execution, that's the important concept. So we check a condition and if that condition is true, then we execute. Very important. We will see that in programming always. Again, not a concept specific to Python. It is in all programming languages. If there is no conditional check, probably it is not even a programming language at all. So it is very, very important. Next, we're going to see else. It's very similar to if, and we have seen that in our conditional statements we saw in the beginning of the session.